Okay, what's up, guys? I'm DJ Sienna Chanel, and we're doing How Discipline Makes Life Easier, Part 2. All right, so let's get into it. I initially was going to do just like a general video about discipline, and this is really for me just as much as it is for anybody else that watches, listens, needs to utilize it. And while you're here, if you like it, please comment, because I want to know how discipline makes your life easier. Maybe from something I said or something that you already do, because I know you have so much knowledge to impart, just like I feel like I do, right? So, yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe, because I want to keep doing videos like this. And this is just to, get my own shit and get myself together, A trend that I'm focused on is surrender to transformation. And I don't know about you, but I definitely hear a strong sound pull vibe of like what I'm supposed to be doing in my life. But I usually allow fear, laziness, distractions to do just that, keep me in the same place. So I would like to, surrender to the transformation that I know I'm supposed to be doing. And I don't know if anybody can relate to that. Again, let me know if you do in the comments. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was mind. Is your mind discipline, or the discipline you have with your mind? And it's kind of like you don't think of it that way, but it's like that's the one thing that you can truly like control is your own mind, right? You would think. But most of us don't have control and discipline over our mind. Control one, nevertheless, like discipline. 'Cause that's one thing to have control over something, to be like, okay, I can make it do what I want it to do. I think we have flashes of that when we get like the good things in our lives. You know what I'm saying? That's because we've, been disciplined and consistently thought of like something good, positive coming towards us. But the majority of our thoughts are all over the place. So we don't have control, nevertheless, like discipline, right? So one of the first things you can do to discipline your mind is to meditate, right? This isn't like new information. This is just confirmation for anybody that needs to see this right now. And again, this is for me too. I'm like looking at myself because I'm looking at you. We're looking at each other. It's reflections. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Meditation is about quieting the mind, like silence. Okay, so sidebar, the other night I made myself sit in the silence. Like, I don't know, I'm a whole for real grown ass woman, like grown, and I'm still a bit nervous and afraid to be in complete and utter silence by myself. You know what I'm saying? And I got a dog, so it's not like I'm by myself. But I was saying to myself, like, yo, you sleep here. You know what I'm saying? You sleep here. So you're totally like unconscious to like what is going on, and it's silent. So why can't you sit in it? But I just kept hearing like just things and my fear and my thoughts, and I just, started to spiral. So a way to combat those type of emotions or those type of like scenarios is quiet meditation, spending more time in the silence. Even STFU, you know what I'm saying? Like even just closing as much off as you can and focusing on whatever it is, the type of meditation that you do, I really just focus on now sitting for a short amount of time for me, and just being silent and just dealing with it. You know what I mean? And then eventually I can get to the point where I enjoy it, like it's a break. It's a mental like pause, for a moment. And you can kind of, separate from this stuff down here that doesn't even really matter, but also does so much. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, the connection. I don't want to go all super holy. And just so you know, I'm not anything like that. I'm not a Muslim. I'm not like a nun or something. I have considered it. But no, it's cold and I'm generally bald. So this is what I wear in the winter, and I think it's stylish. I think it's like, you know what I mean? I want like necklace, shit, whatever around it. Like, I've gone out like that, and I think it's kind of stylish. So that's why I'm wearing it, not for any other like kind of effect. I just wanted to say that just so everybody knows, because I feel like it was gonna come up eventually. Like, so what are you, like a nun, or are you like a, you know what I'm saying? Did you guys see Warrior Nun? I mean, I kind of want to be one though. All right, sorry for my sidebars. We're getting to know each other, aren't we? All right. So yeah, quiet, shutting this shit down for a minute so you can take a break, like a mental moment freaking break. You know, like, you know, like, but yeah, quiet meditation. Chanting works for me. Prayer also, you know what I'm saying? I do a series of conglomerate of things that help me to get my mind focused and ready. And why do you even want your mind focused and ready and disciplined, right? Let's think about it. It's because you know that thoughts become things. So because thoughts become things, it's like you want to have a good reign and clear, concise, you know, thought about what it is that you want, you know? Okay, Chell. It's okay. That's Chelsea. You'll meet her. So yeah, whatever it takes. And I've decided to do a whole group of those things because it helps. You know what I mean? It helps me get my mind focused on what I want. Hocus pocus focus at that. That's my next point in this. Hocus pocus focus. Shout out to Abraham Hicks. I hope you guys listen. That's another conversation for another day. But yeah. But that's one of the phrases I took from them. Hocus pocus focus. And someone just recently to connect that to something that's more tangible. I was watching a man that talks about like motivation and so on and so forth. He was saying that there's no such thing as multitasking. There's no such thing as multitasking. Like, do you know, we're in a part of we're in this world where it's like, oh, you can't multitask. There's something kind of wrong with you. And when I heard that kind of freed me a bit. There's no such thing as multitasking, because it's not. You can't really do like, okay, I guess some could be on the stove and you could be doing something at the same time. So I guess you're multitasking, but are you really being present? Are you really focusing on that food? 9 times out of 10, you fucked it up in some way. You burnt it, you did something, you know what I mean? So, or whatever you're doing, you're just distracted. So you really can't multitask, and that's okay. That's something that I'm freeing myself from, you know. Even to prepare for this, I was thinking about writing things and then doing something else at the same time and going back and forth. And it's like, bro, if I'm doing that, like, you need to focus on where you are, you know. So another way to help with the disciplining of the mind is by having laser hocus pocus focus on whatever it is that you're doing. And then, you know, that, like I said, that brings you into that presence, the present moment, right? And that's what we're all searching for. That's the true drug, is just being able to be connected and relaxed into the presence, you know? And not last but not least, next, progress over perfection. And I added this part, leads to procrastination. Progress, this is all about mind discipline. These are theories, philosophies that we have to adopt and adapt to moving forward, right? For this transformation to happen in our lives, for us to truly surrender to it. There's things that you have to, like, mindsets that you have to get rid of, or let's say this instead, implant new thoughts. So here's a new thought. Progress over perfection, you know, progress over perfection. Because, you know, if it's the other way, perfection over progress, it leads to what? Procrastination. That's a deadly duo right there, right? Perfectionism and procrastination. That's a deadly duo where you get stuck and there's no progress. You're kind of just going around and round and round, and nothing ever really happens. You're too worried about all of what hasn't happened yet and why you can't put it out quite yet. You can't do this yet. Not yet. It's not ready. Which leads to procrastination. So we're going to say from now on, we're done with that procrastination. That's done. Done. That's the last time we're saying that for 2020, the rest of our lives. 2020, the rest of our lives. Progress over perfection. Progress over perfection. Progress over perfections. Progress over perfection. And this leads to the final focus for how discipline makes life easier. Part 2, all of mind discipline is the last thing. Thoughts become things and words are spells. Thoughts become things and words are spells. So now that we've quieted our minds, right? We do all of our, whatever we do first thing in the morning to get ourselves together. So we have a focus on how we want our day to go, on how we want our life to go, on how everything is, right? Which is all good. Third eye vision, not two sight. We're only focused on progress over perfection. It's about progress. We want to move forward, right? That's all we can do anyway. So let's do it like harmoniously is the word. Thank you. So now, last but not least, your thoughts become things. So these thoughts, right? We have to discipline them. Our mind, we have to discipline them because it projects what it is that we are going to have and live and be a part in the world. Look around. This is why I'm on this quest, because I'm looking around at where I am, at who I am, at what I say I stand for. But yet and still my life doesn't show that right now. You know what I'm saying? To me, and it will. It will. It is. You know what I'm saying? I'm transforming. I'm surrendering to the transformation. And a part of that is getting real about who you are, hence the birth chart, figuring out this way to break yourself down to fully surrender to the transformation of the next part of your life. So I used to, like, when I think about, thoughts becoming things, I'm cool there. But now it's those words are spells, like the things that you say. It becomes like who you are, where you are, all of that, all the time. So these are things we have to be mindful of. And I'm telling you, I promise you I'm saying this to myself just as much as you. Like, that's going to be a thread in all of my videos, I can guarantee, So these words that you say, these thoughts, you have to train your mind, use your affirmations, use your mirror work, do whatever it is. Grab from that tool bag, write, script it out over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Figure out a way to control and discipline your mind, to think about, to focus on, to meditate on who you truly are and where you're going in your life, what your life is. Manifest it. You can do it. I can do it. We could do it, right? So now the next level of that is your mind. Again, we have to have some connection. Like we have mind, you want mind body connection. What about what we say? You have control over that as well. So I would sometimes make fun of, or not make fun of, but it's funny to me, you know what I'm saying, when you'll hear some people and they be like, peace to the sun and the gods and the moons and the earth and the power of the, Queen Hotel. It's what's up. You know what I'm saying? It's what's up. I get it. But I used to be like, bro, that's a lot. It's a lot. And it is still a lot. You know what I'm saying? For me. But at the same time, I get it. You have to train. Just like we're talking about training. Training, that's how you get discipline, is by practice, training, doing it over and over and over again. That's how something becomes discipline. You know what I mean? That's why it's consistent. That's how it becomes a habit. Y'all know this is a habit, right? Not this, but this. God is so good. I'm sorry. A habit is, what nuns wear, right? That's a habit. And the things that we need to be the best at in terms of supporting our lives towards transformation have to become a habit. And it takes discipline to get there. For something to become a habit, we focus on negative habits. We got to start turning the other cheek and focusing on positive habits. So all of that, peace to the sun, to the God, to the moons and the earth and all of that, like, I get it. I'm just trying to figure out what that sounds like for me, because I need to make sure that I'm in control at all times, And that only works and happens with discipline. So, this was How Discipline Makes Life Easier, part 2. And we were talking about specifically about mind discipline. So, again, let me know in the comments if you thought any of this was helpful at all, or if that was a good conversation, or you want to talk about it more, because this is the stuff I like to talk about the most. So, hopefully you like it. Subscribe. See you soon.